Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Exercise 5B. Percentage increase and percentage decrease. Your main objective will be to understand the idea of percentage increase and decrease, and like if you will be having any word problems of this type, how can you solve them. Okay, so let's start first of all with the help of these two examples. Here it says find the percentage markup. Now there are some keywords that help us to decide that is this a case of increase or is this a case of increase or decrease. So markup is also one of those words. The markup means like profit. So we have whenever it's a case of increase, we can find the words like heavier, longer, markup, increase, plus. So all these words can be used for finding the percentage increase. So here they are saying find the percentage markup if a car's buying in price is 3,500 pounds and the markup is 840 pounds. This shows that we know how much is the increase or how much is the profit, and this is the original price of the car, right? This is the buying in price, means the original value or the original price. And what do they want us to find? They want us to find the percentage markup. Now remember, this is the key word. When they say percentage markup, that means we need a fraction that will be multiplied by 100. Whenever they use the word percentage for any question, that means we need a fraction in which we write the original value always in the denominator, and we write, for example, if a case of markup, we will write the markup or the increase or decrease or error in the numerator, and then we will multiply it with the 100. I'm discussing different cases, right? So right now we have the markup as 800. So 840 pounds is the markup and 3,500 is the original price. Now you can simplify it and finally your answer will become 24%. This shows that the percentage markup is 24%. Now the second type of question that will be in this exercise will be of the type, an article costing 30 pounds is sold at a gain of 25%. This shows that this is the original price of the article, and when the shopkeeper he sold it, he gained a profit, or you can say, or he gained some extra amount with the ratio 25%, right? Find the selling price. So they want us to find the final price. So if you remember, I explained you two methods to find the final value or the final price. Okay, first method is find how much is the gain. And how can we find the gain? We will write this 25 out of 100 and times it by 30. And when you simplify all of it, it is giving you 7.50 pounds. And then to get the final price, or you can say the selling price, add this amount to 30. The second method was first find the multiplying factor. And how do we find the multiplying factor? If it's a case of increase, we just add 100 into the percentage and it becomes 125. And then we divide it by 100. So multiply the multiplying factor with the original price, right? Now the multiplying factor is 125 out of 100 and times it by the original price, that is 30, and then you will get the final answer in one step, right? So these are the main questions, the main idea of this exercise. So let's discuss the questions now. Here it says find the percentage markup. So they want us to find the markup. When we want to find the markup, that means I have the buying in price. How much is the buying price? Or you can say this is the original value. Buying in price means the original value. It's 12 pounds. The markup is 3 pounds. So how can we make the fraction? We will say 3 out of 12 times it by 100. And we can simplify it. This one will become 300 over 12. Now it's an improper fraction, so write 300 inside and divide it by 12. Now 12 times 2 is 24. subtract it, you will get 6 here, and 12 times 5 is 60. So what is the percentage markup? It's 25%, right? Now in the next question they are saying buying in prices means this is the original price and markup is 2.80 pounds. So how can you do it? 2.80 over 28 times it by 100 over 1. If you want to write over here 1, you can write it over here 1. Okay, now when we multiply any number by hundreds, what can you do? You can just move the decimal to the right side, so it will become 280 over 28. Now 280 over 28, you can do it with the long division, or the smart girls or the smart students, they can do it without long division, because 28 divided by 28 will be 1 and you have 1 extra 0, so it will be 10. So if you want to do it with long division, it's 28 times 1 is 28, remainder this extra 0 we place it in the quotient, so it will be 10%, right? So it's an easy idea. Now here find the better pause the video here and solve C and D part on your own now. So here are both the answers, students. 4 out of 16 could be simplified with the times table of 4. 4 ones are 4 and 4 fours are 16, and finally we are getting 100 out of 4. So in the beginning of this chapter I told you to memorize the multiplication table of 25. So you know that 25 times 4 is 100. So that's why 100 divided by 4 will give us 25%. And here again, when I multiplied it by 100, I moved the decimal 2 places to the right side, so it became 550 over 55. Now 55 divided by 55 will be 1 and extra 0 will be placed here. The next questions are finding the percentage markdown. Same idea, just we have now the case of the loss, or you can say it's not a profit, it's a loss. So simply what will you do? 4 out of 20 is the fraction, means markdown divided by original price and then multiplied by 100. Whenever we want to find the percentage of, like percentage increase, percentage markdown, we always have to make a fraction to be multiplied with the 100. Now as you can see here, 0 can be cancelled with the 0, and now 10 and 2 are left, so 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 5 is 10. So finally 5 times 4 will be 20. So the answer will become 20%. So the markdown or the loss is 20%. For the next one, you can say 25 out of 125, multiply it by 100 out of 1. Now 100 and 125 both are in the multiplication table of 25. So 25 times 4 is 100, 25 times 5 is 125. And similarly here 25 and 25 could be simplified with the multiplication table of 5. 5 times 1 is 5 and 5 times 5 is 25. So finally we will get 5 times 4 is 20 out of 1 equals 20%. Let's say a student, he or she does not know how to simplify all of it. In that case, what the student can do? He can do multiply them straight, like here multiply the numerator with the numerator, so it will become 2500, or you can say 2500 over 125, and then he can solve with the long division, right? But the answer will be the same. Clear? Okay, now here I want you to solve C and D part on your own and then play the video to check your answers. So here are both the answers. Let's see what we have other cases to discuss. Find the selling price. Now what is selling price? Selling price is called the final value or the final price, right? So to find the final value or the final price, what do? We have two methods, and I told you better use the second method, because in all my previous exercises I used this method, right? Like first of all we will get the multiplying factor. And how do we get the multiplying factor? If it's a case of gain, you add 100 into the percentage. So you can say multiplying factor equals, actually it's becoming 120%, 112%. So that should be written in a fraction if you want to use it for as a multiplying factor. So the multiplying factor is 112 over 100. Now use this multiplying factor to multiply with the original price. So our selling price, or you can say the final value, will be 112 out of 100 times it by what? The you can say buying in price, or you can say the cost. Okay, now 50 times 1 is 50 and 50 times 2 is 100, right? So we are left with 112 out of 2. Now divide this 112 by 2. 2 times 5 is 10. So it will be 12. So 2 times 6 is 12. So the final answer will be 56 pounds, right? This is the final price, or this is the selling price. Here in this case, it's a case of loss. Loss means now this 50% will be subtracted from 50 to get the multiplying factor. So the multiplying factor will become equals to actually 50%, because 100 minus 50 will be 50. But we will use it as a fraction, so 50 out of 100. So how can you find the selling price? Selling price will be like this. Selling price will be 50 out of 100. This is the multiplying factor. Multiply it with what? With the original price, or the original value, 36 out of 1. Now as you can see here, 50 times 1 is 50 and 50 times 2 is 100. We are left with, so here is the final answer, that is 18 pounds. We have 2 more questions like this. In both these you have to find the selling price, so better pause the video here, solve these 2 parts on your own, and then play the video to check your answer. So here are both the answers, the same idea. This is the case of gain, so 100 was added to get the multiplying factor, and this was the case of loss, so 24 was subtracted from 100. Let's discuss some more cases here. They said find the weekly cash increase or decrease for each of the following employees. So simply you have to find, like for example, if Ian Dixon is earning 120 pounds per week, this PW is for per week, receives a rise of 10%. Like if his earning is increased 10%, so they only want to know that how much is the amount that he will receive, not the final. You can say you do not have to find how much is the final amount that he will receive. They only want to know, they only want you to find what is 10% of this amount, that will be his increase, right? So because it's a case of increase, so you will write increase equals, they want you to find the amount of increase. The percentage is given, like if there will be $100 or 100 pounds, he will get $10 extra. Now if it is 120 pounds, how much extra will he receive? So simply we change the percentage into a fraction, that is 10 out of 100, and multiply it by 120. Now clearly you can see we can cancel the zeros. The first 0 can be cancelled here with this first 0, and this second 0 can be cancelled with this 0. So in the numerator we have 12 times 1, and in the denominator we have 1 times 1. So it will be how much? The increase will be 12 pounds. Okay, now better pause the video here and solve B part on your own. So here is the answer, students. I cancelled this first 0 with the first one. So 12 times 15, it's multiplied here. We got 180, and in the denominator we were left with 10. So 0 could be cancelled again with the 0. So 18 pounds is the right